We are less than 3 days away from the 97th Academy Awards, so you know what that means. Oscar predictions. I'm going to go through all 23 categories and predict what I think is going to win, tell you what I would personally vote for, my winner, and aside from the 5 documentary feature films, I have seen every single nominated film this year, so I'm also going to rank alongside every category, my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pick in every single category. This is going to be hell. This race is insane this year. Lots of controversy surrounding the nominated films. I'm honestly excited for this award season to be over so we don't have to talk about these films anymore. But I'm also excited for Oscars night because a lot of these categories are up in the air and it's going to be relatively exciting. So here we go. We're going to start out with arguably the easiest category of the night and also my favorite category, production design. I think Wicked is going to win this. No contest. Wicked would also be my personal choice. This is my ranking. Solid fucking category all across the board. Let's move on to the next easiest category, which is costume design. I also think Wicked will win this award, deservedly so. It's my pick. A complete unknown in this category is ridiculous. We should have gotten something more exciting there. I know it's a period piece and isn't really a Men in Suits type nomination, but this is my obligatory Men in Suits nomination this year. There's always a Men in Suits nomination in costume design, but that's it right there. Another really easy category this year, at least I would hope it's easy, makeup and hairstyling. In a perfect world, The Substance is going to win this. It's going to be a top 5 winner of all time in the makeup and hairstyling category. The makeup and hairstyling in The Substance is fucking brilliant. Might be the best win since The Fly. A crazy ass body horror movie winning an Oscar for makeup, deservedly so. That is also my pick. I love A Different Man. My favorite movie of the year. If Oscar voters didn't watch The Substance and decided not to vote for it, I hope that they would go for A Different Man. Nosferatu would not be a bad win either. This is my ranking. Relatively easy. Here we go to the next. In terms of above the line categories, actor in a supporting role is so easy. Kieran Culkin. He's been sweeping. Arguably deservedly so. I think Guy Pearce is the only person in this entire lineup that I would put in my top 5. So Guy Pearce is my winner. I really love Jeremy Strong's performance in The Apprentice. Kieran Culkin is good in A Real Pain, but that movie was a real plane to me, and I really despised Kieran Culkin's character, not in a good way, so that's why I wouldn't vote for him. Clarence Macklin should have been running away with this, but thanks to A24, people didn't watch Sing Sing, and maybe because it's a black story, you know, a predominantly black story, people didn't want to watch it. So, fuck you. Kieran Culkin's gonna win. Guy Pearce is my pick. And maybe the last really easy category, at least for a while, Zoe Saldana has been sleeping for that movie. Amelia Perez. She has been sweeping. Just like supporting actor, not my lineup at all. Ariana Grande is probably the only person I would put in my lineup. She is by far my winner. Her comedic timing, her singing, her just overall diva presence in Wicked, the perfect Glinda, I love it. This is my lineup of the nominations. I love Isabella Rossellini. She's had a phenomenal career. She has like 3-4 sentences in total in Conclave. I don't know why she was nominated, but still not my least favorite in the category. But yeah, supporting acting categories, super easy. They've been sweeping all year. Even though Dune Part 2 got nominated for less awards than Dune Part 1, I still think Part 2 is gonna take visual effects. And honestly, that would probably be my pick as well. This is a very solid lineup in the visual effects category. I don't think there's a false note here, except for maybe like the CGI deep fake in Alien Romulus, which kind of puts it in last place for me. I love the space shit in Alien Romulus. I love it, but the deep fake, so cringe. I hated it. Um, Maybe if I wanted to go against the norm, maybe I would vote for Better Man because the visual effects in that movie are seamless. The mocap was phenomenal. That was a very fun movie. Fuck all y'all who didn't see it. I didn't know who Robbie Williams was before I saw the movie, but now I really like some of his songs. And if I had to go against the norm, and because I like Dune Part 2 significantly less than Part 1, maybe I would vote for Better Man just to, give it some love and recognition. But even though Dune Part 2 was a lot less critically and awardedly received than Part 1, Part 2 is still going to take visual effects, just like Avatar. Just like Avatar 2. And since we're talking about Dune, I also think Dune Part 2 is going to win sound design. They merged the two categories together. Kind of unfortunate. A Complete Unknown won the Sound Guild. If there were the two separate sound categories, which there still should be, Dune Part 2 would probably win sound editing. A Complete Unknown would probably win sound mixing, which I would support. Don't love this category. I do love the sound design in both Dune Part 2 and A Complete Unknown. I really don't like A Complete Unknown as a film, so that's probably why I would vote for Dune Part 2 as well. But A Complete Unknown is a very close second. This is my ranking. Not a great category, but that's what happens when Academy members don't know the difference between sound editing and sound mixing. So they decide to rid of a category to save time and money on producing the show. And whatever. Somehow for me, score is a little bit harder to predict. In a perfect world, The Brutalist is going to win this award. I think it will. I think The Brutalist will walk away with at least 2 techs. Brutalist, by far my favorite score of the year. It is very inventive. It's very of the time because it's a period piece. I love it. I absolutely love it. And absolutely would be my pick. If The Brutalist wins score, that's going to be a top 3 win of the night. I fucking love that score. It's my prediction. Volker Bertelmann really redeemed himself with his Oscar-winning trash score. I really hate that win. It's a decent score on its own, but I don't think fits into All Quiet on the Western Front at all. If there's an upset on Oscar night, I would hope it's Conclave for original score, because for a Catholic Pope religious political thriller, Conclave has an amazing score. It is arguably the closest second place for me in terms of wanting to award something. If I had an official ballot, I would see if I could try and tie The Brutalist and Conclave, because both scores are really brilliant. If Conclave ends up winning score, I won't be that mad because it's a great score. But he did win 2 years ago. The Brutalist score is, while not in the film that much, on point. So I gotta support that win. And onto song, kind of a ridiculous category this year. 2 song nominations for Emilia Perez. I don't dislike any of the songs in this category at all, even the Emilia Perez songs. I do think El Mal is going to win. It's been on a very hot streak recently. It is the fun nominee this year, and The Scene that song is featured in Emilia Perez. Zoe Saldana is in that very cunty red suit. She's dancing up on tables. It is by far my least favorite song of these 5. By far. It is kind of ridiculous. You have fucking Carla Sofia Gascon trying to do like, oh, with her fucking raspy ass voice. It's so cringe. I don't like it at all. But it's gonna win because Amelia Perez is not going home empty-handed. Despite the controversy, song and supporting actress are not going to be affected by this. I love the Elton John song. I love the song from Sing Sing, Like a Bird. I think both those songs are very fun. Mi Camino. If one of the Amelia Perez songs have to win, I would vote for Mi Camino. I love that song. Even though it's sung by Selena Gomez, her voice is nice and it's like a fun, club type of poppy song. It's very fun. But my pick, shocker for everybody. If I had an Oscar ballot, Diane Warren is getting my vote this year. I love that song, The Journey. Her is a phenomenal singer and songwriter, even though, she didn't write this specific song. But hey, Diane Warren, you really did it. This is her 8th consecutive nomination for Best Song. And if she's gonna fucking win this year, have her win for the Tyler Perry movie, because that song is amazing. Gotta put this out there. I know at the beginning I said I've watched every single Oscar-nominated film aside from the 5 documentary features. Maybe this is kind of my cheat, because I have not seen the 688 and I have not seen the Elton John documentary. But when it comes to the song category, I don't really give a fuck, because I've listened to all 5 songs multiple times. I know the songs. Fuck you, I don't need to watch the movie for the songs. So yeah, shit, Diane Warren, shocker, is getting my pick this year. It's such a very powerful, from her last 2 very basic, trashy pop nominations, she redeemed herself this year. The Journey is easily my pick for song. El Mal's going to win. If literally any of the other songs win, as long as El Mal doesn't win, I'll be fine, but it's just how it is. And speaking of Amelia Perez winning Oscars, I don't think the controversy is going to affect Amelia Perez winning International Feature. By far my least favorite of these 5. By far. I know in my previous videos I've said that I really dug Amelia Perez. It worked for me. I think it's very original and ridiculous and crazy and stupid all at the same time. I did rewatch it the other day and I did bring down my rating significantly. It's a stupid movie. It's ridiculous, but I kind of, and arguably offensive. But from a cinematic standpoint, I feel like I kind of have to respect it because it is so original. I literally have never seen a movie, let alone a musical, like Amelia Perez. It is very weird. I don't think the controversy is going to affect it at all. That being said, if there are upsets, the controversy could affect Amelia Perez's win in this category, and I'm Still Here could take it. This is the very first year in Oscars history where 2 of the nominated international feature films are nominated in Best Picture. And the controversy happened way after the nominations came out. So, potentially the controversy could get Brazil to win international feature for I'm Still Here. And honestly, I wouldn't be mad about that because it is a significantly better film than Amelia Perez. All of these films are. I'm not voting for Flo as my personal pick in this category, even though it is by far my favorite of these nominees. It is my second favorite film of 2024. But because we'll get to animated feature next, but because of animated feature, I would potentially vote for The Girl with the Needle or Seed of the Sacred Fig here because I would love to give those films some recognition. I love those films. And maybe I would lean towards Seed of the Sacred Fig because it's so important. It's a near 3-hour movie that flies by, implements real world footage seamlessly, and it just kind of fucking smacks you in the face and left me sitting there like, oh my God. The Girl with the Needle left me speechless, sitting there like, holy shit, I hate people. But The Seed of the Sacred Fig left me speechless, sitting there like, oh my God, I hate the world. So I would love if either of those won. Also, I'm still here. And, shit, obviously Flow's not going to win this, because as we've seen with Flea from a couple years ago, an animated film that was nominated for animated film, international film, and documentary lost all three of those. A groundbreaking film that made Oscars history lost all three of its categories. So no way Flo is going to win this. Amelia Perez, I think, still has it in the bag, but it is what it is. Despite The Wild Robot getting 2 technical nominations, I have extreme mad faith that Flo is going to win this award. And like I just said a little bit ago, it is easily my pick. An 85-minute film, no dialogue, maybe the most emotional film I've seen in many years. I bawled my eyes out the entire runtime. It's getting a Criterion later this year. Buying it day one. I'm not even gonna wait for the sale. I'm gonna pay $40-50 for an 80-minute film because shit, that movie is so good. My second favorite film of the year. It is absolutely brilliant. And I don't have faith in it just because, The Boy and the Heron won last year. It was very close between The Boy and the Heron and Across the Spider-Verse. The very low-key, humanistic, very personal film versus the very exciting, fun, breakneck blockbuster. And this year, it's easily between Flo and The Wild Robot. The Flo being a very low-key, personal film versus The Wild Robot, which is the more kid-friendly, exciting, fun, animated movie. I have faith that Flo is going to win. And if it doesn't, I'll be very pissed. But I have faith in it. Here is the section of the video where I talk about all of the short films. I've seen all 15 nominated short films. I really didn't think there was a false note anywhere, which is kind of unheard of when it comes to the short films because there's always a super Oscar baity one in one of them, and I hate it, but that wasn't the case this year. I'm kind of going to go through slightly in depth about all of them. When it comes to animated short film, it's kind of hard to predict. And for these nominations, I haven't looked on Gold Derby. I haven't looked at any prediction sites. I'm strictly going with my gut this year because in a way, I'm relatively confident about a lot of these categories, and I didn't feel the need to change my mind or redeem myself with looking at other people's predictions. People are predicting Wander to Wonder to win this year. In my opinion, I think that's just because it's the only one that's in English. I think, and then I say that, but then I think Yuck is going to win because it's like the most cutesy one. It's the most kid-friendly. It's a very sweet film. I liked it a lot. But, Wander and Wonder and Beautiful Men, there were 3 stop-motion shorts this year in the animated category. And Beautiful Men and Wander to Wonder have nudity in it, and it was, they were very weird films. I heard some like weird sounds from behind me when I saw the shit in theaters. I would very much love if Magic Candies, or my personal favorite, In the Shadow of the Cypress won. Oh my gosh, I would scream. In the Shadow of the Cypress is like my Ice Merchants of this year. I've been watching all of the nominated short films for multiple years now. I've been able to catch them all for the last 5, 6, 7 years. And In the Shadow of the Cypress, behind Ice Merchants, is my favorite nominated animated short film since I've been watching this. Not a single line of dialogue, all visual storytelling. I was absolutely destroyed. I cried so hard when I watched that film. It made me feel the most. And this is what I feel the most. This is what I want the most from the nominated short films every year. How cinematic is it, and how emotional does it make me? Because if you're gonna tell a short film, I want to feel a lot from a short film. If you can make me feel a lot from a short film, then you did something right. And I love the non-dialogue, the wordless animated short films, because you can do the most with animation, the absolute most with animation. And if you're able to tell a complete story with no dialogue, just visual storytelling, that's a winner in my book. In the Shadow of the Cypress is by far my favorite. And Behind Ice Merchants, it's my favorite animated short film I've watched since I've been watching this. If Magic Candy somehow won, I would love that, because it was funny, it was very emotional, loved it. I have faith that Yuck is going to win, but Wander to Wonder could easily win because it's the only one in English. Live action short film also has a good crop of nominees this year. Alien is the most relevant to the United States, which is why I think it's going to win. Great film, the most frenetic, chaotic editing I've seen in a very long time, and that's coming from a short film. I thought it was very effective. People are going to respond heavily to it, and I think that's why it's going to win. Anuja might honestly be my personal favorite of these. I think it would get my vote because I loved the open ending that, it leaves you to audience interpretation. What is Anuja going to do? What is she going to do? Is she going to go to the factory, or is she going to go take that test? I appreciated that. I'm Not a Robot was very funny. The Last Ranger is, The Last Ranger, I think, was the longest of the nominees, and it was very effective. I cried a lot. Very important, because fuck poachers. Fuck poachers till the end of time. They can all go to hell. How are you going... What? I'm not even going to get into it. But I thought The Last Ranger was very effective. If Alien does not win, then The Last Ranger is definitely going to win. And The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent, also very effective. Kind of like a foreign Alien in terms of the short film. It had a great long shot in the beginning, which I really appreciated. I think it was the shortest, and it was able to get its story across with less than 10 minutes, and it made me really mad, just like Alien made me so fucking mad. Alien made me so fucking mad. How are you going to deport immigrants at their test to get their fucking green card? What the fuck is wrong with you? It's a scam. It's a trap. Fuck you. And I think people are gonna, heavily respond to that, which is why I think Alien is going to win. Documentary short film. The saddest crop of nominees this year. Jesus Christ. I think I cried in all 5 of these. I think The Only Girl in the Orchestra is going to win this one because, 1, I think it had the biggest budget, and 2, it's the most accessible film. It's the one that I cried the least. I cried kind of happy tears while watching that movie. The other 4, I cried very, very, very sad tears. And usually really depressing, dark documentary shorts don't win this award. And it'll be the second film in a row to win, a music-related documentary short. And that's not to trash the film at all, because I really liked it. I just think the reason it's going to win is because it's the least sad. There are themes of misogyny in it, but, Oren O'Brien, a legendary musician, the first woman musician to be in the New York Philharmonic, so, great for her. She's had a great career. Her niece directed this film and made it and interviewed her for it, and I wouldn't be mad if it wins. You have school shootings in here. You have people on death row in here. You have body cam footage of incompetent police in here. And you have and you have Japanese kids being yelled at by their teachers. I can't handle the other four. They're like just so sad to me. Incident, I think, would get my vote because it's a short film comprised entirely of body cam footage and, like security camera footage. And the fact that they were able to just turn body cam footage into a half-hour cohesive, very intense film gets my vote. Incident made me so fucking mad. So fucking mad. It's not even funny. I literally could feel myself like gripping this necklace. I was like gripping my sheets. I was so mad when I watched that shit. Death by Numbers was fine. I Am Ready Warden could be the second place winner of this because, one, it had a big budget, and two, it's very conflicting. Are you going to be on the side of the kid whose dad was murdered, or are you going to be on the side of the murderer who has been on death row for 16 years and has, come to learn religion and be very, basically just grown as a person in prison, being in solitary confinement for all of these years. It's a very conflicting film. I wouldn't be surprised if it wins, but because The Only Girl in the Orchestra is the least sad of these, that's why I think it's gonna win. Documentary feature, these are the ones that I have not seen. These are the 5 films that I have not seen. However, I do think because of the love and praise that it's gotten, I think No Other Land will win, which, and I'm not going to give like my personal vote, but I have to support this win because Palestine, fucking Palestine. Give Palestine the recognition. No Other Land seems like it's on track to win this award, and I would be very fine with that. If people didn't want to watch this film because, one, it's a documentary, and two, because it's Palestine-backed, Porcelain War could win this award because this is the only one of the documentary films that I actually saw trailers for before I saw some films in theaters last year. Like when I was going to see the international nominees, the trailer for Porcelain War played before every single one. So if No Other Land doesn't win, then it's going to be Porcelain War. Cinematography is a little, well, I don't want to say a little unpredictable, but there could easily be an upset here. Like I said in the beginning, I think The Brutalist is going to win a few techs, and despite it winning the BAFTA, I think The Brutalist will win the Oscar, which I won't be upset about. Maria won the, American Society of Cinematographers for some reason. Maybe because Ed Lockman is like an Academy fave and a cinematography fave, and he's gotten nominated a few times over the last couple of years, and people understand and appreciate his work. Easily my least favorite of the nominees here. I thought it was very basic. I thought Maria was a terrible, boring film, and obviously the cinematography is good in it, but it was only nominated for cinematography. It's not going to win. The Brutalist is going to win this award. By far, Nosferatu gets my pick. Easily my favorite cinematography of the year. The use of shadows, the use of natural light, the use of very, very seamless and subtle long takes. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. This is my ranking for this category. It's a relatively solid category, but if I had a no guts, no glory wish for the Oscars, I would want Nosferatu to win cinematography. But The Brutalist was shot on VistaVision and shown in theaters in 70mm. Won't be a bad win at all, but God, I want Nosferatu to win. Editing is a little harder to predict this year because we've only had the Critics' Choice and the BAFTAs. Conclave won the BAFTA. Challengers, which wasn't nominated, won the Critics' Choice. And the Eddies are going to be 2 weeks after the Oscars. So we don't have that much insight into editing. And literally, I think Conclave is going to win because it won the BAFTA. But it's also a very, tight, compact, political, religious thriller. it has good editing in it, and I wouldn't be mad at this win. I don't think Sean Baker is going to win all 4 of his nominations. No way. People don't like Anora enough to have it win an award like editing. By far, my pick would be The Brutalist, because it's a 3.5-hour movie that flies by. I love it. And there are some very stylistic editing choices in there. You know, 2 people will be having a conversation and they cut to random people in the background in slow motion, you know, like smoking, taking a drink, eating some food or whatever, or just walking around these big vast sets. So that would easily be my pick. And another one of my no guts, no glory picks would be to have The Brutalist upset in editing, because I would love that. But I don't think if The Brutalist is going to win Best Picture, it won't win editing. So that's kind of how that is. Adapted screenplay, very easy. Conclave is going to run away with this, deservedly so. It's a great script. It is a great script, and that would probably be my pick as well. I would love for Sing Sing to win this award. One, so Clarence Macklin can redeem himself and actually win an Oscar. And then, you know, the guy that Coleman plays, John Divine G. Whitfield, he would also win an Oscar too, which I would love. And so, yeah, between Conclave and Sing Sing, those would be my picks. But, you know, Conclave has been sweeping, deservedly so. And then original screenplay, a little harder to predict. The Substance won Critics' Choice. Jesse Eisenberg for Real Pain won the BAFTA and the Independent Spirit Award. Sean Baker won the WGA. I think Anora is going to win Best Picture, which, you know, we'll get to later, which is why I think Sean Baker is going to win Original Screenplay. And honestly, Anora would probably be my pick as well. I like pretty much all of these scripts here. But if Anora is going to win Best Picture, it's not going to win just Best Picture. It's got to win something else. And if it loses Director and Actress, then it's going to win Screenplay. So that's my prediction. There wasn't a race in leading actor until the SAG Awards. It seemed like Adrien Brody was going to go all the way, and then Timothy pops up out of nowhere and wins the SAG. Coleman Domingo would easily be my pick here. It's kind of ridiculous how much I would vote for him. This is not my lineup at all, but it is what it is. Sebastian Stan was nominated for the wrong movie this year. He should have been nominated for A Different Man, but people watched The Apprentice and people didn't watch A Different Man, so it is what it is. People think Timothy could be on the rise, but I think people love The Brutalist more than they love A Complete Unknown. So despite 1 or 2 sentences using AI for it, which is insane, I still think Adrien Brody is going to win despite the AI controversy. And it won't be a bad win because he really was brilliant in the film, very subtle. And, you know, he has an accent and he's going through the immigrant experience, and it's a great performance. But the fact that AI had to be used at all in any capacity for his performance really turns me off from him winning. It's very unfortunate. Even if it was for just 1 sentence or a couple words, AI was still used to enhance his performance. Adrien Brody, the youngest winner in the leading actor category in Oscars history, is going to win again, and he's going to make history again for being the first performance to win an Oscar with AI enhancements. Crazy. Actress, significantly harder to predict. Demi Moore or Mikey Madison? Demi Moore or Mikey Madison? I love all of the nominated performances in this category. I love all of them. Mikey Madison would be my pick because she just went out there. She's got the New York accent. She's screaming for hours and hours on end. She cries. She has her very emotional moments towards the end. She literally is Anora, and that's why I would vote for her. Demi Moore would maybe be, you know, my second pick. And yeah, she did win Golden Globe, the Critics' Choice, and the SAG Award. Mikey Madison won the BAFTA, but people win Oscars just after winning the BAFTAs. So it really doesn't matter how many awards Demi Moore won before. It could go either way. And, people really love The Substance. It's going to win makeup, hopefully. Hopefully, if the Academy has a brain, it's going to win makeup. But Demi Moore could not win Best Actress because people don't want to watch The Substance because it's this crazy-ass body horror movie. And that's funny. And a lot of people are going to watch Anora because it won Cannes. It won Best Picture of the Critics' Choice. It's got people have been liking Sean Baker's films for a while. They're going to watch that, and they might like Mikey Madison because they want to award a new talent. And even though Demi Moore has the narrative behind her and the themes of the film, it's going to be one of those two. My gut is telling me Mikey Madison because I think Anora is going to go all the way. Directing is also slightly hard to predict because it's been between Sean Baker and Brady Corbet the whole year. And like I've said in previous videos, Anora is a writing and performance movie. The directing. The Brutalist is a directing movie. My prediction, also my pick. If the Academy goes all for Anora, it could win directing just like Sean Baker won the DGA somehow, and I wouldn't be mad at that win either because, Anora's a really good film, but The Brutalist is going to win a handful of techs, could easily win directing because the directing branch loves to nominate and award directors, and The Brutalist is a directing movie. So that's my pick and my prediction. And when it finally comes to Best Picture, in a crazy world, The Brutalist could win. It won the Best Picture Drama at the Golden Globes. Anora's been doing a decent job winning Best Picture awards. When it comes to this, it's like a three-way tie between Anora, Brutalist, and Conclave because Conclave has been on the rise. It won BAFTA, and it won, SAG Ensemble, which I really don't think has that big of an effect on the Oscars. Of these nominees, I do like a lot of these nominees. I think my personal pick would be The Brutalist. It's my favorite of these nominees. It's the most Best Picture to me. It's one of those big, huge American epics that, we haven't seen since like The Godfather. It's one of those films, which would be my pick. But Anora is a very fan favorite amongst people this award season. One PGA, one Critics' Choice. People are thinking Anora could win Best Picture at the Oscars without winning a single other award, which would be kind of crazy. I don't think it's going to lose Screenplay, Actress, and Director. It's gotta win one of those if it's gonna win Best Picture. It's gotta win one of those if it wins Best Picture. So, yeah, that's about it. The 97th Academy Awards, the 97th Oscars, are in less than 3 days. Can't wait for this award season to be over. I will see y'all then. It's going to be fun. My buddy Wyndham is going to be there with me because he's seen all the films. And I want to know what your predictions are. Please leave your predictions in the comments. I want to have a discussion. I want to see what other people are thinking. Yeah, that's about it. See y'all on Oscar Sunday. Oh,